You didn't hear it begin. That's the trick. Silence arrives first, then the wait. You keep walking like nothing's watching, but something is. Not angry, not loud, patient. The chaos you survived didn't disappear. It learned your name. You call it past. They call it handled. Funny how fear avoids mirrors. Breathe. Notice the room shrink, because the ones who broke things don't fear noise. They fear accounting. And tonight, the balance tilts. You were the wound. Now you're the memory. They can't outrun. Stay calm. That's when it starts. One whispers before blame, psychological focus, mystery, unease without proof, suggested word count, approximately 180 words. You feel it. Before logic, eyes adjust. Something's off. Not danger, attention. They smile too quickly. You notice. Questions hover, answers dodge. Silence thickens. You're not paranoid. You're early. You start noticing. The repeats. Same apology, different day. Same damage, new excuse. You tell yourself it's random, but randomness doesn't rehearse. Watch closely. The chaos has a rhythm. They disappear, right on cue. They return, right on need. Promises loop, outcomes don't. You forgive once, they memorize that. You forgive twice, they upgrade tactics. This isn't mistake, it's method. Patterns don't beg, they announce. Every delay was intentional. Every silence was strategic. They knew you'd doubt yourself. They counted on your empathy. They weaponized your patience. You weren't unlucky, you were targeted. Notice the timing, the pressure points, how chaos always benefits them, how confusion keeps you quiet. That's not fate, that's design. And the moment you see it, the spell cracks, because repetition is confession. For cowards, now you're watching, not reacting. Now they feel the shift, because awareness changes posture. And patterns, they panic. When exposed, you start seeing it when you stop excusing it. Not one incident, not bad luck, not coincidence. Repetition leaves fingerprints. Same trigger, same fallout, same silence afterward, different faces, same outcome. You replay moments you once rushed past. They slow down now, too precise, too familiar. Chaos doesn't improvise like that. They vanish right before accountability. They reappear right when you're weakest. Notice the timing, it's surgical. Promises arrive only when pressure rises. Apologies come only when consequences knock. Then reset again. You blamed yourself for staying. They relied on that. They studied your mercy like a manual. Every time you said, it's okay, they heard permission. Every time you waited, they learned how long they could disappear. This wasn't clumsiness. This was calibration. They tested boundaries by crossing them. They learned limits by ignoring them. And you kept hoping this time would be different. Hope is easy to manipulate when someone understands your heart. They didn't need to hurt you loudly. They hurt you consistently. That's how patterns work. Quiet, reliable, predictable. Look back now. Same arguments, same gaslight phrases, same moment. Where you doubted your memory. That doubt placed there. Confusion wasn't collateral damage. It was the shield, because a confused person doesn't accuse. A confused person waits, and waiting was the space they operated in until you noticed. That's the danger point, because once repetition is seen as intent, the game changes. Patterns hate witnesses. They survive on blindness, and now you're not blind, you're still, you're alert. And they can feel it. You don't confront, you observe. That's when leaks begin. Stories shift mid-sentence. Details don't match their own history. They explain too much, then contradict it. Truth doesn't rehearse. Lies do. Watch the pauses. They stretch. Watch the eyes. They calculate. What stayed hidden starts sweating. Screens Remember, what mouths deny. Messages surface at the wrong time. Receipts don't shout, they wait. You notice how everyone's version is slightly different, except yours, because reality only needs one draft. They start blaming timing, stress, misunderstandings. Classic smoke, but smoke implies fire. They laugh louder now. Jokes arrive early. Deflection speeds up. Guilt hates stillness. You stop correcting them. That terrifies them. Because silence forces reflection, and reflection is where damage shows. You feel it shift. People around them start asking questions, not accusations. Curiosity, that's worse, because curiosity pulls threads. Without mercy, they sense exposure before it happens. That's when panic whispers through politeness, sudden kindness, sudden apologies. Too late. Truth doesn't need permission to surface. It leaks through tone, through timing, through over-explaining. You don't push, you let gravity work, and gravity always favors truth. Now they're not scared of you speaking. They're scared you won't. Because once truth is visible, no one needs your voice. It speaks on its own. Something changes that nobody announces. No speech, no closure, just a quiet pivot inside you. You stop rehearsing explanations for people who never listened. That's the moment your posture adjusts before your mind does. You're still hurt, but no longer hollow. Pain condenses, sharpens, it stops leaking and starts pointing. You realize you don't need justice from them. You need alignment with yourself. That terrifies them more than anger ever did, because anger begs reaction. Alignment removes access. You no longer chase clarity, you carry it. Your voice slows, your words shorten. You listen without absorbing. They feel the difference before they understand it. They ask questions. You don't rush to answer. They probe for emotion. You offer calm. That mismatch unsettles them. You were supposed to stay wounded, to flinch, to explain, but now you're reorganizing internally. Re-reti. NG rules they thought were permanent. You see how much energy you spent surviving their chaos. You reclaim it, not dramatically, methodically. You stop negotiating with disrespect, stop translating their behavior into excuses. You accept what happened without softening it. That's not bitterness, that's clarity. Your memory stops arguing with their denial. You trust it again. And trust, real trust, changes how you move. You're not healing to return. You're transforming to advance. They sense distance and misread it as weakness. That's their mistake, because distance is how threats form, quietly, patiently. You're not becoming cruel, you're becoming precise. You choose when to speak, when to engage, when to disappear. Control migrates inward before it shows outward, and once it settles, you're no longer reacting to the chaos they caused. You've outgrown the version of you it was built to break. That's the turn, and there's no turning back. At first, nothing looks different. That's how power moves. Without announcements, you stop pushing, things still happen. But now, they happen around you, not through you. Decisions hesitate. People wait. They check your face before finishing sentences. You don't demand control. You remove resistance. That shift unbalances everyone who benefited from your effort. You notice how often you were the engine, the planner, the fixer, the buffer. When you step back, systems wobble. They call it confusion. You call it exposure. Because if something collapses without you holding it up, it was never stable. You don't rush to stabilize it. That's the test. They expect rescue. You offer neutrality. They expect urgency. You offer time. Time reveals who actually knows what they're doing and who was leaning on your silence. Control doesn't arrive with force. It arrives when others realize you're not available to carry the weight anymore. Meetings shift tone, messages soften, requests come, wrapped in politeness. Not respect, yet, but caution. Caution is respect. Learning its lesson, you decide what you engage, what you delay, what you let fail, and letting things fail is the most honest form of leadership. They start over-explaining why things went wrong. You don't interrupt. Explanations are admissions, wearing nicer clothes. You see power for what it is now, not volume, not dominance, but choice. Choice to respond, choice to wait, choice to walk away. You don't grab the wheel, you let go. And suddenly, everyone realizes who was driving the whole time. Fear doesn't scream first, it leaks. It shows up as urgency, as long messages that say very little, as sudden check-ins that weren't there before. They start watching you more closely than you watch them, because panic tracks movement. Your silence gets interpreted as strategy, and they're right. They rush where you slow down. They fill gaps you leave open. They explain intentions you never questioned. That's fear trying to control the narrative. You notice how often they say misunderstanding. That word is a shield. It means, please don't look deeper. But you are. Their confidence phrase in small ways. Hands fidget, voices pitch. Laughter arrives half a beat late. They test you with friendliness, with nostalgia, with remember when. You don't bite because fear needs engagement to breathe. They ask questions disguised as concern. They want data. You give none. The power imbalance is obvious now. You recalm, they're reactive. Calm terrifies people who built control on chaos. They begin to preempt consequences. Apologies appear before accusations. Excuses form before facts. That's panic rehearsing its defense. You don't gloat, you don't threaten, you simply remain consistent, and consistency is unbearable to someone who hoped you'd stay confused. Fear has a sound. It's not loud, it's unstable. This is where it goes quiet, not the awkward quiet, not the waiting for an explosion quiet. A different kind, the kind that settles after truth finishes moving furniture. You don't announce victory, there's nothing to win. You don't expose. Exposure already happened. The moment you stop reacting, they feel it, that hollow drop. When intimidation finds no surface to land on, they expected anger. They prepared for confrontation. They never prepared for irrelevance. You're not chasing closure. That was their favorite delay tactic. You've already closed what needed closing internally, and internal closure doesn't need witnesses. Watch how they struggle to locate themselves in your new silence. They try to provoke, no response. They try nostalgia, no access. They try authority, no leverage. Each attempt lands softer than the last. Because domination doesn't always look like force, so at times it looks like peace that cannot be disturbed. You move freely now. No double-checking, no rehearsing conversations that never happen. Your mind isn't running simulations of their reactions anymore. That's the real shift. When someone loses their residence in your thoughts, they lose power everywhere else. They realize they can't scare you back into position. Fear doesn't work on someone who's already survived the worst. You're not threatening, you're finished. And being finished is more final than revenge ever could be. They look at you and can tell what you know. That uncertainty eats at them, because people who caused chaos depend on predictability. Your fear, your guilt, your need to explain, you offer none. You don't even offer judgment. Judgment implies investment. You've divested. Notice how their voice lowers around you, how their stories shorten, how they choose words more carefully now. That's not respect. That's memory, finally working. They remember who you were before they tried to break you, and they see who you are now. Someone not shaped by their damage anymore. You don't remind them, your presence does it without effort. There's nothing left to prove because proof was never for them. It was for you, to know you weren't imagining it. To know you weren't weak. To know chaos didn't happen to you. It was imposed on you, and imposed things can be removed. You removed it, quietly, thoroughly. They'll carry the noise of what they did longer than you ever will, because guilt is loud. When there's no distraction left, you walk forward, unburdened, not healed in the fairy tale way, but solid, anchored, unmovable. And the final domination isn't that they fear you, it's that they no longer matter to you at all. That silence, that's not emptiness, that's ownership. The room is still, not tense, not awkward, just quiet. They glance at you, searching for cracks that aren't there. Their questions stumble. Their excuses sound thin. You don't answer. You don't react. Every attempt to provoke bounces off calm. They expected fire. They prepared for anger. They never imagined silence, so heavy it pushes back. You walk past them without hesitation. No glance backward. No need to justify. Chaos loses its grip when it's no longer invited. Your presence alone shifts the room. They remember the damage they caused and feel it in ways they can't articulate. You don't narrate, you don't explain. They flinch at your stillness, at your disinterest. No confrontation, no shouting, just undeniable existence. They realize the threat isn't revenge, it's that you moved on, beyond their reach. Nothing left to prove, because proof was never for them. It was for you, and now you carry it quietly, solid, untouchable, unseen but omnipresent. They feel it, not in words, not in noise, in the weight of someone finally finished. Silence never looked so loud.